The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV. Hot topics, food, fun, entertainment, and serious business. Live Las Vegas with Rikki Cheese.
You can get involved and be a star or a director or all kinds of things that are directing and involved in film. We have got with us Corey Taylor Talks, very familiar to those of you who watch us regularly on WWDB TV, and we know that you do. She is the host of the teen talk show, the #1 teen talk show, Corey Taylor Talks. And we've got Joe Lujan, who is okay, let me go down the list. Film producer, film director, costume designer, writer. He'll sweep the studio after, whatever you need done. This man, you can probably make jewelry too, because I'm just waiting for the next thing.
Pretty
he probably
sure.
already has, and he just hasn't told us. All right, they're here to talk about a really exciting project that's just amazing, and I've started hanging out with them because of this project. It is the Las Vegas 48-hour film project, and it's a way for anybody who's got anything to do with film. If you're an artist here in town and you would like to get involved in the industry, this is your chance to do it. It is amazing. Joe, you guys together are producing this project, and because they're both involved in the film industry, they can't actually put any events in, but they've also got amazing judges, and it's just great. So Corey, start us off. Tell us what the film project is all about.
Yes, so the 48-hour film project is actually international, and we're in charge of the Las Vegas location, but it's literally across the world. Literally every country you can think of, countries you can't think of, it's there. And it's really, really cool. And what it is basically you have 48 hours to create a film, and how they know you don't cheat is you have to use a person, so a character that is given by us, a prop, and a line of dialogue. And then you also draw a genre, but everyone gets the same person, prop, and character.
All at the same time.
Yeah, all at the same time. Yeah, so then you know you're not cheating, and everyone has to deal with the same elements, but had to do it in a completely different way with a different genre. And that's what's so cool about it, is you get to see like so many different artistic things, and people. It's really just a blast, and it's not even about the winning, which although winning is a great part. It's just it gets your whole team so much closer, and even though you want to kill each other sometimes, it's always just such a blast. And
well, some of the credits I forgot to give for Joe, as he's known for directing sci-fi films, The Immortal Wars.
Yes.
You've got the little
right here, Team Dominion. That's right.
And most recently, at Telephobia, which is the fear of imperfection, being good or being imperfect. And Corey was the star of the show. They had her made up. She was looking so fabulous. It was just amazing. And I'm thinking, I know that woman. I'm not really quite sure why. So that's a movie you also have to check out. So Joe, tell us how you're involved with this project as well.
Well, I mean, I like I said, I'm co-producing with Corey. It was more of I've competed in 48 hour.
Have you won?
Like 2 years ago?
Maybe? 2 years ago was last time.
Yeah, it was the last time. I would register a team, and we would create. It's a fun, stressful, exciting experience, especially for the filmmakers.
Right.
You don't sleep or anything. But I think this time around, I wanted to help and bring it back to the film community in Las Vegas. I think I've had my run in competing in it.
Yeah.
I think it's just more of a
let the novices get involved.
Yeah,
I mean, you're at the top of the food chain when it comes to making films. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say this man is amazing, and like every 48, like I honestly I have to tell you, it is a blast, but it is a stressful situation, and you're always like, oh my gosh, how are we gonna come up with this? And we always have like weird genres and stuff, and he always is amazing and like at the top of the food chain. So like you said, and so for him to be doing this, we're so lucky, and I'm so lucky we're doing it together and to be working together, because he's just incredible, and he knows all the technical stuff I couldn't even imagine. So I'm like, thank God we're doing this together, because I could not ever dream of doing this.
Well, I was very flattered to be asked to do the red carpet with your latest release, which is a Telephobia. And one of the things that I noticed, and I was just really overwhelmed by, was how tight your cast and crew were, and then to see that that carries over. So that's the kind of culture you're creating with a 48-hour film project.
Yeah, I feel like I think it's everyone working together.
Yeah.
The film community coming together and having a fun, competitive type of event.
Right.
Yeah, it's I know people will still take it very like I need to win, but it's just more of having fun and us doing it just for fun.
And you've been having these mixers beforehand, and I went to one of them, and I was just really going to just really kind of see what you guys do. But one of the directors asked me if I wanted to be on his team, and so he had this whole thing going, and I thought, oh my gosh, I could maybe be in a movie. Oh, this is fantastic. But of course he didn't call me, so whatever. But how long does it take to actually get this work together? Because those mixers were held for everybody to kind of meet each other and pick their teams. But then once you pick your team, what's the time frame in terms of getting prepared for that 48 hours? I mean, do you get to do work ahead of time, or is it like, okay, this is 48 hours and this is it?
Yeah, I think for when it comes to 48, the mixers are just to assemble your team, basically is what it is. You want to assemble and make sure all your elements are covered for when kickoff starts, you guys are ready to go.
Right.
As far as preparing, I think it's just more of preparing mentally. You know, since you don't know the details or what you're going to get.
So you don't even know what to write? You're just getting
That's
the bodies.
the whole point.
You're just
That's
getting
the
the
whole
bodies.
point.
That's what I'm saying. You're just assembling your team for kickoff. And at
Yeah.
kickoff,
So you can't even begin to write anything.
No.
Wow.
It's tough, but it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Wow.
But I do want to say the only thing you can really do in advance is get your crew and cast, and you can line up some places where you might want to film. But that's basically it, and that's why it's such a challenging thing. But I think that shows how amazing the film community here is and stuff.
Even I think
to do that.
to complete a film in
Exactly.
that time is an award in itself. I know when I did it, knowing that I finished and knowing that I submitted on time, I felt already like, oh, we won. Like, we got it in.
He's
So
amazing.
tell me, what's the process? Once that 48-hour, like, they're off type of thing happens, what happens then?
I mean, people can choose. I know I've heard some teams spend the whole night Friday writing and prepping, and then they start filming on Saturday, and then all day filming Saturday and then editing. But the way I would do it was I would go straight from kickoff to we're filming that night, and we film throughout the entire night. And we go straight into editing Saturday, edit all Saturday.
And so then Sunday's the day where you had to put your
Sundays
stuff in.
you're finalizing everything, making sure everything's done, because there's also paperwork you have to take care of before you submit the film. So yeah, you have to make sure all your agreements and releases are signed. It's a process.
It's tough
for each team,
It's
and
tough.
making sure you make it in on that deadline time. If you don't make it, then
all that time is wasted.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So how long has this been going on here in Las Vegas? How long has the 48-hour film project been here in Vegas?
It's been years now. I know. I even actually the 48's how I even got into the film community in the first place. But I know when I did it, it's been going on for years before then. So, 17 years in Las Vegas.
Mommy's
is the
over on the side,
18th
she
year.
knows, yeah, right?
The voice, she's listening. She's
This voice is listening.
17.
Voice,
So
really
this is the 18th year of the 48 hour in Las Vegas.
So tell me what your experience was when you first got involved.
Oh, I was really lucky to be on a great team, and this was before Joe came to Vegas, and so I was really, really lucky to be with Kelly Schwartz, and that's how I got into the film community and film in general, and that's where I really found my love, and that's why it's so cool and like a full circle thing to be able to do co-producing this year. So it's really, really awesome.
And you were, like, again, you were the star in the Telephobia, and I was just, like, so impressed because, of course, I know you as an amazing talk show host, but then I'm thinking, I'm going to be going, I'm on the red carpet here in Las Vegas. I might be on the red carpet with her in Hollywood. I mean, that's how good she is. But that's all the work that you've put into it, too. Because, Joe, you got started early. When I talked to you a while back, you didn't even start going into film. That wasn't like your love as a child.
No. I wanted to be a veterinarian.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do. Yeah.
And then you saw, was it the Evil?
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
Yeah, that's what changed it all.
The game changer.
Yep,
for you.
everything changed after that. And I've stuck with film almost 15 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your first job in the film industry, what was it?
Ooh, first job.
First actually paid gig, not just hanging
First
out trying
paid
to learn,
gig?
right? Yeah.
I think it was like a commercial, maybe. Yeah, I think that was the first thing. I didn't get a paid film job, like an actual feature film, till like maybe a few years ago. Yeah.
So and you built an amazing repertoire. Like when I saw the movie Telephobia, it was I think after the movie that Corey told me that you actually the costumes, and I thought, what does this man not do?
And see, I feel like that's something when it comes to filmmaking. You're gonna come into these obstacle courses. You're gonna hit so many walls to where many do give up. Sadly, many do kind of hold back. But as a filmmaker myself, I feel like you got to figure out how you're gonna fix this and get it done.
Right.
And that's when costumes came to play. There was no budget for costumes, you know. There was no one who can make them for me, so I made them myself. You know.
And he did better than like anybody could.
Yeah, and I deal with everything that comes with film. If someone can't do it, I'll take care of it. And I think for 48, it's almost the same. When it comes to the filmmakers, it's like the clock is ticking.
Right.
There's no time to stop or think about things. You gotta go.
You can't panic. You just got to get it done. How many team members per team?
It can be. We literally had one man team, which is actually quite possibly an award that might be. And I mean, I think they said in their email the biggest team they have was in another country. It was 72 people. So if you want to top that, you're more than welcome to.
Wow.
But I mean, so there's no limit.
I mean, that's like a small studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Not even my feature film has that many people.
It's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
I don't suggest that many people, but you're more than welcome to.
Yeah. So tell me what's going on. What is the status of the film community here in Las Vegas right now?
I think it's growing.
It's huge.
There's so many talented people here.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many projects being worked on right now. That's like once again I go back to 48. It's like, to me, that's even more of an incentive as to why we ended up deciding to do it. There's so many talented people here. We wanted to give them the opportunity to create something and have fun and meet new people and collaborate with others here in the Vegas community, as well as getting your film shown on the big screen. To me, that's an award already. If you're having your film screen in front of an audience, that's what we're all working for, you know?
And the other thing I noticed as I was hanging out at the mixer that I went to was I was totally unaware, and that's why I went. Until I met you, and then I met you, I didn't even know that the film community was so thriving here in Las Vegas. But then to listen to there's like all of these little acting workshops happening and improvisation. If you have any interest in the film industry in Las Vegas right now, you can find something here in Las Vegas to learn or to just practice your craft.
Well, I was even going to say, honestly, Vegas has been called this, and I completely agree. I think it's the next Hollywood. I mean, Caesars is building an entertainment studio here now as we speak. I think it's already going. They film tons of movies over here, and you think about it, it's the perfect place. The weather, it's hot, but it's doable. You have the casinos, you have the mountains, you have the lake, you have the suburbs. I mean, you literally have everything you could possibly want, and it can look different no matter where you go. And so Vegas, it just continues to grow. And Joe's literally like the top filmmaker here in Las Vegas. So, I mean, it's really awesome for him to be doing this, you know?
Well, and that night, as I thought back, how many different big-time films have been shot here. You know, just growing up here, you see these films, they come in and they're gone. And it's in the back of your mind that they shot. Mostly if they go out of like order, like you can't go down the strip like so many times. So we know that you're looping, but only locals would know that. But still, things out at Lake Mead, things at Mount Charleston. A guest I had on a couple weeks ago, Ken Foose from Exotic Pets. He had a whole bunch of lizards and snakes that were up somewhere that were being shot as part of. I think your mom knows that. Well, do you know the name of that movie that they were shooting with Ken Foose? It was like it was a scary movie. It was Art of the Dead. So Art of the Dead was being shot here in Las Vegas just a couple of weeks ago. And so there are like all sorts of sizes of films. They're not all big, huge. It's not going to be Matt Damon every single time. But there are all sorts of levels, and there are so many different locales in Las Vegas, and I think we just take that for granted. We do. There are great sites to shoot films here in Las Vegas.
Oh yeah. I think that that's part of the filmmaking. You have to find those places.
Right.
That'll make your film and your piece of art stand out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if they only have 48 hours, is that 48 hours to choose their sites, or can they actually kind of go and scout out different locations ahead of time?
They can definitely scout out locations in advance. I even suggest making them start to fill out paperwork in advance, because that is the one thing that will kill you is the paperwork. People don't, because you don't even think about it. You're so focused on this amazing film, and then you got to do the paperwork. So if you even have like someone there just to do your paperwork, that is an amazing thing to do because
that is highly recommended.
Insider tips here. Okay, give us another insider tip for the teams who may not know that some things that they can get taken care of. So you can scout your location ahead of time. You can get mom to come over and do your paperwork if you can, because they're really good at that. And what's another thing that people could maybe look and put in their back pocket?
I'm trying to think.
A tip.
Yeah.
I think it's just more. A tip would just be prepare yourself. I mean, you're not going to
prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
Yes, always prepare for the worst because it will happen. Right. Things will not go as planned. It always happens.
And sadly, we've had a lot of people in past years that they had this big crew and cast and everything, and then everyone bailed at last minute. So be prepared to like be able to, and that's why it's a challenging thing, but it shows it's the creativity, and it's like how they made that work with that, and I mean it's really amazing.
Well, that's how Joe ended up doing costume design.
There you go. That's exactly how I did.
You lose your designer, and you're like, well,
I didn't give up.
I can't help that. I can't do. What was I was looking online something Star Wars, Lucas.
Solo?
No. George Lucas.
Lucas.
How in the making of Star Wars, everything but his mama just blew up. I mean, he lost crew members. The studio setup went down. He lost one of his cast members got into an accident. I mean, it was like I'm reading this going, because all I knew about him really, and you guys have inspired me to really look into filmmaking, was the success of Star Wars. How he survived and didn't have a heart attack for all the things that went wrong making that movie.
When it comes to filmmaking, everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Always.
And he even had actors who, while they were filming the movie, were telling him, this is not going to fly. This is a terrible idea. So he had his own staff bad-mouthing him while he's trying to make the movie. Really?
Yeah.
How is that? I mean,
that happens a lot.
You need to walk if you're going to say
exactly.
something.
Right, I know, right? But I think as the filmmaker and as the director and the one in charge, you kind of just like watch. It will work.
And I think the thing is, people are so critical and stuff, and honestly, a lot of times cast and crew, the ones that are criticizing, they don't realize how it looks at the final product. So they're just like, oh well, this is, but it on camera, how it edits. Honestly, post-production is like more important than actual when you're filming and stuff. So they want to be like so judgmental, and then when they see it, they're like, oh, and then they shut their mouths really quick.
And honestly, I've been one of those people. I'll be out in the field with a photographer, and I'm just going, why are you shooting this? Why are you shooting that? Because it doesn't make any sense to me in the field. Then you get back in the edit bay, and you're like, oh, wow, that's a great shot, because now you're able to see how it all fits together.
Yeah, when in filmmaking, you have to see it as a whole, not just what you're seeing in front of you.
Wow.
You have to see how the finished product's going to be.
Wow. Where do you get your inspiration?
Oh, through everything.
Yeah.
Art, music, a piece of, I don't know, artwork or something I can look at and I'm like, oh, I got an idea.
And you, Corey?
Yeah. Oh, me? I don't know. I kind of everything. I honestly think of weird stuff all the time, and then I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea. And I'll get, if I really am passionate about something, I don't know, the ideas just kind of come out of nowhere, I guess. So kind of everything, yeah.
And we've talked before. I'm one of those people who this is a blank piece of paper, okay? And so I've had on, his name is going to come on, Neil Portnoy, who is the illustrator for the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is what gets me about you guys, you artists. Just what you said. I'm like, where's your inspiration? And it just pops into you. So he sits down. Next thing I know, it's like, where did you even get the idea to do that? That's amazing, because it wouldn't even have occurred to me. But it's just such an art, that creative light going off. And do you have like a system where when you have an idea, do you write it down, or how do you record it?
Well, I'm not a filmmaker, so I usually say, Joe, I have an idea. Or I'm like, maybe you should add this to the film or something like that. But that's kind of what I do. And Joe's just always constantly.
I'm constantly writing. I always have composition books on me all the time. I come up with an idea, or I'll wake up from a nightmare or a dream. I'm like, oh, I write it down. I have one right next to my bed.
Right.
Yeah. That's
all the time.
It makes total sense. Now, with the folks who are going to be the teams in this 48-hour film project, and actually, I think I asked you already, how many teams do you have? Do you know?
It's
You
still,
won't know
honestly,
until-
registration closes, I think, like an hour before the competition starts. So as of now, we have 22.
Okay.
But like I said, it does close
could.
till, and for some reason, you people out there, you just wait till the last minute because you're trying to be sneaky
Typical
or
Las
whatever. I
Vegas.
don't know.
Typical Las Vegas. Okay,
yeah.
so let's talk about the judges, since you guys couldn't judge, but
Yes.
you like put together an amazing little team of folks who
Yeah.
are judging. Talk about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we wanted to bring together a set of judges that I felt were very credible.
Yeah.
Is that the word?
Yes.
Am I using that word? To judge.
Yeah.
People who are in the industry that know the industry,
Yeah.
that that will see something and judge it for what it is,
Right.
Yeah.
not really because of friends or connections or whatnot. And I felt that was very important this time. I think that was
Yeah.
one of the main things we had
Definitely.
when we first started talking about doing 48. I think that was one of the main things we said, and like, we need to make sure our judges are big people.
Nobody
Yeah.
has an inside track. So
Exactly.
Can you throw some names out there?
Yeah, because I'm really lucky with doing the show and amazing opportunities, and I've known I met some incredible people in the film industry in the past, and so we have 4-time Emmy award-winning actress Michael Leonard from the Waltons. She's just incredible. And then we also have Anson Williams from Happy Days, and he's also a producer and writer. He's like Joe. He does a million things, everything
And
you could
isn't his
possibly
daddy
imagine.
in the industry too? Is like a big guy in the industry.
He might, honestly, I think his whole family's kind of in the industry.
Yeah.
So he's incredible. Bill Oberst Jr., who's worked with Joe a lot, and he's just such a great-hearted man. And a million things to his name. He's mostly an actor, but he also writes and produces and directs. So he's awesome. And then not even our last one. See, I'm getting caught up in myself. We have Michael Goddard, incredible rock star of the art world. He has
Martini glass.
Yes, that's right.
Right.
He's even done a lot with film and stuff, and he has a lot of friends in Hollywood and stuff who are huge actors and rock stars and everything. And then we have the comedian Gallagher, who, I mean, everyone knows him. He's just always so funny.
I
with
just
the
watched
smashing
the
the
promo.
watermelons.
Right, yeah. It's so cute. You got to go and look at his promo. Is adorable. Oh, it's so
They're
cute.
really excited. They're
Yeah.
all really excited.
Cool, and I think even some of the teams that we've had already, they said like you could tell that they're about it and stuff, and we just asked them, and they made the videos and stuff to say how excited they were. I mean, and that's why they're really happy to do this, and it's not like Joe was saying, it's not favoritism, and it's not, oh, I know this person, or they just usually do well, so I'll just give it to them. It's completely fair. They have no idea about the Las Vegas film community, and so it's great.
Yeah.
Bring him in from out of town to make sure everything is fair.
Exactly.
All right, so are we like almost out of time, John? He says we have 2 minutes left.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, right?
Oh my goodness.
We're having so much time for the break.
Oh, for the break.
Okay.
I was like,
I was going to go. We haven't talked for a whole hour.
I was like, oh
Okay,
my
guys,
gosh.
stick around. We're going to be right back. We're going to talk more about the film industry and then how you can get involved. Just some more specifics if you're interested at all. So many opportunities. Stick around.
Yes.
Crazy Terry here with your car care tip of the day. Today's tip's about tire maintenance, how to check a tire, how to fill it properly. Okay, so as we can see, we've got a low tire. We probably saw that a month ago and said we'll fill it, but like everything, we let a day go by. Next thing you know, we got a problem. Properly check a tire, remove the valve cover. Got a tire gauge, simply put it on there, and it'll read the pressure down at the bottom in PSI, pounds per square inch. We can see here that this is so low, it's barely reading. There's probably 10 pounds in it at best. So how do we properly inflate it? Well, we're going to need an air chuck. Go down to the local store or come by the shop. We'll use this tool to inflate it. And that sounds like that's all we need to do, but we need to know how much to inflate it to, because overinflated is just as bad as underinflated. We can look at the tire, and on here we're going to find a cold pressure rating rated in PSI, and it's going to say anywhere from 32 to 80 pounds depending on the vehicle. We'll want to find that so we know the maximum inflation cold. We're going to look until we find the load rating, and here we find the maximum PSI is 44 PSI, pounds per square inch cold. We don't want to fill it any more than that, but we don't want to underfill it either. We want to fill it to 44. So it seems like checking the air pressure is no big deal. It's not. It's really simple to do, but we want to make sure we got the correct pressure. How do we find that? Let me show you. We open the door and we locate the sticker. It's usually right here. It could be down on the lower rocker, but it's on the driver's side. And after we look around, we'll see right here it says 35 psi. That's the pressure that the tire requires that was sold with the vehicle. But if you change the tires later to a high-performance tire, mud and snow, or anything else, look at the cold pressure on the side of the tire to make sure you're properly inflated. This could be 35 today, but we get a performance tire, it's 44, 45, or even higher. We'll want to make sure we're inflating the tire properly. A couple of things you're going to need if you're checking your own tires: tire gauge and a rag, because you are going to get a little dirty. If you don't want to do that, I don't blame you. Bring it to the shop, we'll check it for you. We'll do a whole inspection on the vehicle if you like. We'll check the tires, make sure you're safe. This can save you a lot of time and keep you safe. Crazy Terry here with your car care tip of the day. Thanks a lot.
And we are back with two premier filmmakers and actors and designers and everything in the Las Vegas film industry. Joe Lujan, who owns Carcass Studios and also has just directed a series of films. His latest is at Telephobia, and this is Corey Taylor Talks. This is Corey Taylor of Corey Taylor Talks, who starred in the movie and who has been working with Joe over the years. And this 48-hour Las Vegas film project is just amazing. In the short time that we took a break, they got a call, a notification. It went from 22 teams to 23 just that fast.
Yeah.
So, you know, the deadline's coming up, but people they're moving in to kind of take this along.
And we were expecting for people to register last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know I did a year or two
Yes, he's one of them. We're
I
like,
would do
why?
it last minute, but
Now, what would lead to registering at the last minute? Because you guys have been having the mixers for a
Well, I
while.
think it
to
was
get
more
people
He
in.
has a
team-wise,
good
too.
excuse.
Yeah.
He has.
it would be more like not really, like it was more just, I wouldn't want to register if I didn't have a solid team. And I'd be stuck with doing everything, and not that I haven't fallen in that situation before, but for 48 hours is a
it's tough.
very stressful type thing. You
Right.
know, as a filmmaker, you are writing, you're directing, you don't sleep. You go straight into editing, and you go, there's no
Yeah.
sleep. For 48 hours, you are awake.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
also, those are great points. But then you got the people that, for some reason, don't want anyone to know they're in it until the very last
too.
possible
is that
moment.
like a competition thing? You
I
want
guess
people gearing up to
so.
go against you.
I
Yeah.
can't really fathom why that is, but there's a
But
lot
that
of
does
people
happen,
out that
yeah.
are like that.
They'll wait till
so-
like the last day, like we're in.
literally like 30 minutes before the deadline's done.
Well, see, I don't see how that would make any sense because
I
you're
don't
all
either.
at the same starting
I don't
point.
know.
Exactly.
And so once again, what do you get? You guys as the producers, each team gets what to work with?
They get the prop, character, the line of dialogue, and then everyone gets their own genre.
Okay. And do you provide the equipment, or do they have to? So
They
they've got to
provide
bring
all
their own stuff
Yes.
too.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It's like they're making a film from scratch. They're just,
Yeah.
we're just telling them, go.
And that's what's cool too is honestly we have filmmakers who are this is like the first thing they ever even did, and they're like filming on their cell phones and stuff. And then you got really professional teams, but honestly, even the ones that are filming on their cell phones and it's a one-person team, they do really well. And I mean, even a few years ago, they won and went to Sundance and stuff. So I mean, you get
It's such
a
a
lot
broad
of
range of different types of creators.
Cans, I'm sorry,
Cans,
cans.
right,
Yeah,
cans.
Yeah, so it's kind of like people from everywhere.
yeah.
Whatever you have to create. Yep.
And everyone has a chance to win. Literally,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what
And
level
this time
you're
we
at.
wanted to make sure, as far as awards, we wanted to give out awards, a number of awards
Yes.
that will accommodate almost everyone. Almost, you know, it's like we wanted to give everyone the chance to win something.
Right. And to
that's-
encourage them to
Exactly.
see some success
Exactly.
in their first efforts. Well, see, I'm sitting here blown away because I can barely take selfies on my cell phone. So to think that you can go to cam with something on your cell phone, so
yeah.
there are really no limits. I mean, this is open to anybody. If
Yep.
you're out there and you're an amateur filmmaker and you have mastered that, you don't have to have a fancy. Like, we've got
No,
these
not at all.
expensive 3 cameras here in the studio.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
like you have to have this big
No.
expensive
Oh,
set
yeah,
of
no.
equipment.
And if you are a one-man show, then you be a one-man show.
And there, like I said, it might be an
Because
award.
I was a one-man show for a while, and I
Yeah.
didn't let it affect me at all. You know, and
Wow.
that's what kind of got me going. Little
Honestly,
by
it's
little.
even more like admirable. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, like you did that by yourself. Good for you.
Yeah, it's a fun experience when
Yeah.
you're doing it by yourself. You just can't let it bring you down.
No.
Right,
You know?
right. And once again, it is real life, because when you're in the film industry and you know things can go wrong, things can go exceedingly well too, but you've got to be prepared
Things will
for
probably
the
go
disaster
wrong.
that's
Probably will go wrong.
right.
Prepare for the worst, hope for the best, and prepare for the worst.
Now, when you were involved, what was your favorite project that you did when you were doing 48-hour
When I
film
did
project?
48, my favorite. I honestly can't pick out one, because the way I treated 48 hours was more like, it's my friends, it's us coming together and just having a good time.
Right.
We were doing it just to create. You know, obviously we would like the award, of course,
course.
but
Right.
it was just us close friends having fun and creating, and I feel like the experience is what was my favorite part of it. The finished product was like the cherry on the top.
Sure.
We created a film, but it was
Sure.
like just me with all my best friends creating.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's the way I had treated it every year. But then I got very busy.
Well,
It's
then
tough,
your
yeah.
projects became really, really big.
And then, yeah, I got busy.
Yeah,
But it
exactly.
was. Yeah.
And for you, Corey, and I've said this before, one of the things that really struck me at the premiere of Atilophobia was how tight you were. Like, Joe, you mentioned that once everybody lined up at the end of the movie to just answer questions and something, you guys were like shoulder to shoulder, and people were hugging each other. And after the premiere, I think you said it very much more gracefully than I'm going to say it, but basically, jerks couldn't work for you. I mean,
right.
once you assembled your team that you've been working with a crew over the years, you want to work with people who want to be there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People who are passionate about it, people who love to create and want to be a part of a project.
Right.
I would start off with a big number of crew, and little by little, they started chipping off. You know,
Thank
it's like,
goodness.
you know,
Bye, Felicia.
yeah, there was a few where I'm like,
Adios.
okay, bye. You know, but it's what made me who I am now, and what Carcass Studios is now, and that's why I work with the same people. It's like, I know what to expect. They know what to expect from me. We
Right.
worked well. You know, we have fun, yet we're still working and creating. It's still a professional setting.
Right.
You know, it's like we're just friends and family creating, but also benefiting each other's careers.
And how did Carcass Studio how did you go from just kind of dabbling in it to actually having a studio?
It was a few years before I moved to Las Vegas. I created like a set of feature films. And that's when I was like, okay, this is not just short films anymore.
Right.
And then I moved to Vegas, and then I started creating what I call bigger scaled films, like Atilophobia, and then now The Immortal Wars.
Right.
So it's kind of gotten me more.
Which comes out July 3rd.
Yes, we gotta plug that in, July 3rd.
July 3rd,
It hits shelves.
Immortal Wars. Yes, yes.
Pre-order it now on Amazon.
And that's kind of when I decided studio. Now I think back like, oh, I should have thought of a more broad name. You know, it's like Carcass Studios. Everyone thinks, oh, horror and
Right.
gore, but
I like it. I
now
like
I'm
it.
like, oh, I do sci-fi action now.
Yeah.
It's, you know, but I think it was more of a step and an accomplishment for me myself. Like,
Sure.
hey, like this is
This
something
is
big.
what I'm doing.
This is what I'm doing.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And for you, Corey, I mean, you've got the #1 teen talk show, but I had no idea you had such a broad range of talents outside of WWDB TV. This is like a whole working in the film industry.
Yeah, and honestly, that's how I even got my show, was through acting, and I was a guest on someone's show, and it all happened that way. But I think acting's my #1 passion, just because literally since I was 2, I did like theater and stuff, and then when 12 was when I got into actual films, and when I just started doing acting on camera, especially, it just like clicked, and it felt like, oh, this is what I should be doing with my life, and so I've been really lucky with that, and Joe is like just the most amazing person to work with too, and I've been so blessed to work with him so much, and of course other incredible filmmakers out here in Vegas and stuff. I've been just so blessed all around, and Joe's like my brother.
Yeah. She's like my little sister.
The thing
So
about
it's
the
been
red carpet,
amazing.
it took like twice as long as it needed to, because all of the actors who were lined up, they had to get in the word about Joe. And so I'm standing there, and it's like, I'm supposed to be interviewing you, the actor, and Joe did it. It's like, move along. One guy had like a whole script, and it's like, okay, I know this is Love of Joe, but really, guys, we're running late on getting the movie started. Could you please like wrap it up? We know that you love Joe. Move it on.
Get out of here.
But that was also something that truly impressed me when you said that. And there are opportunities for folks past the film project to also get involved with your studios or your next project, because
of course.
I took note of that. I don't know if I'll just be some lady standing up against the light pole. I don't care, but I want to be in somebody's movie. I'm going to be in somebody's movie. But you do leave it open, even though you have your fixed crew that you work with on a regular basis. You're not opposed to letting somebody else join the club if they are going to be.
Oh no, yeah, definitely no. My thing is I want to give as many people the opportunity to express themselves
and for themselves,
for themselves, to help their careers and their business themselves. I will definitely be open to that. You know, I just feel once people start getting the taste of the way it really is, you know, the long hours and the no sleep, and you know, it's kind of like, then they're like thinking twice. Then they start to pull back a little bit. Yeah. But I think that's how you assemble your team. That's how you assemble the people you work with. It's those who can hack, is the way I say it. Those who can hack can stick around.
Right. Yeah. It's not as glamorous as that finished project that you see.
The glamour does not come till after the film is literally done.
I'll say this: Joe has given like plenty, and he still continues to give so many opportunities to work with. I mean, he has given so many jobs to the film community here in Vegas. I can't even explain, like, more than like 90% of the people out here and paying jobs and stuff. And he has given more than enough opportunities and continues to give more opportunities to people. And it is for some reason, and the core group just keeps getting bigger and bigger, but he chooses to work with the same crew and cast members and stuff because that's who he can rely on.
That base crew.
Yeah, and he gives plenty of opportunities, and he still does, and you're always casting for a million things because he's always working on a million things.
So when are you casting for? What's your next project after you get past the film project?
I am prepping to end all 3 of my trilogies, actually.
Oh, that's right. Talk about that.
Yeah, so I'll be ending a Telephobia. A Telephobia 3 will be shooting later this year. Rust 3 as well. We'll be shooting in the fall. And the Immortal Wars 3. Ooh, this is the first time I'm saying this. Okay.
Oh. You heard
we
it
are
here
doing an
first.
Immortal Wars 3 early 2019.
Man.
Yeah.
So there's time for people who are interested to maybe find a little part in one of these
we're going to be
movies?
casting lots of roles. Even for crew, people who want to be involved. Definitely will be giving them opportunity to join and help us create, help be a part of this insanity that we do.
Well, one of the neat things about the Mixer too is again learning that there are so many different avenues here in Las Vegas. There are a lot of there's a I guess it's like a cafe or something at Town Square. Forms into an improvisation stage at another part of the week. Yeah, so everybody had these little tidbits of information as I was floating from table to table and scarfing other people's pizza. Yes, I was. But I had no idea. I thought this is a great opportunity when you guys have these get-togethers. Find out about the base.
I didn't even know about that. I need to get out more.
You were at every mix.
I'm always behind a computer or on set.
Editing.
Well, when the one guy who's the director was looking for team members, and he asked me if I could play a certain part, and I think I kind of scared him because he wanted a reporter, and he said, "Well, do reporters really fuss about their hair and stuff?" I said, "Baby, that's all we do." And then he had a couple of other questions, and so I just kind of created the character on the spot. Now, she was a little extreme, and I think I saw his pupils kind of dilate a little bit, like maybe not, so I didn't get that call, folks. Maybe the next one.
Tonight actually is our very last mixer at the Millennium Phantom Bar. You should come.
Right.
This will be the last chance for everyone to meet people and put their teams together.
Right. Yeah. So that the day of when you actually start handing out, the stuff to the teams, where do you all meet? What is that process?
Go for it.
Okay, so that's going to be at Miller's Ale House in Town Square. That's where our kickoff will be. We will start drawing at 6 o'clock sharp, so everybody better show up. I suggest showing up a little bit early. We'll be there earlier for sure, but we will start drawing at 6 o'clock, and then by 7 on the nose, we will give out the person, the prop, and the line of dialogue. And
so don't be late.
Do not be late. We do have some people that are saying they're unfortunately not able to make the kickoff, and so we'll have someone draw in front of everybody so everyone can see. Once again, there's no cheating, there's no favoritism, no nothing for their genre. And so if that's your only dilemma, you might not be able to make the kickoff, then that's a solution. solution right there for you. And so 6 o'clock sharp at Miller's Ale House, and then our drop-off will be at the Las Vegas Mini Grand Prix, which is amazing. We're so lucky to have them do that because you can just pull right on up. They have their own private parking lot. We've had a lot of close calls in the past and almost accidents, and people it's bad. It's really bad. So this is perfect. You pull right up. We'll be right there at the entrance. Couldn't get any better. Thank you, the Mini Grand Prix.
and you were even talking during the break. You're going to have an intern or somebody who's not even involved actually pick these drawings so that your fingers, your 2 hands are not going to touch it.
Yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah, we want it to be as strict as possible.
Yeah.
Now, once the entries are all in, do the judges all get together? Do they have to sit in one place? How much time do they have to judge before people find out whether they won?
They will all be seeing, I think privately each will be watching the films separately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're not even going to influence each other. No. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so
that's
they'll
what's
watch
great
the
about
films.
it.
We want them to judge them solely on what they're watching themselves.
And all the judges we talked to, they've all been really cool. And what's awesome about it is they're all looking for different things. Like one person's like, I want the best quality, and then someone's like, I don't really even care about the quality. It's more about the actual soul of the film and what it's about and like the actual key parts. So, I mean, they're really looking for different things, and they're all passionate about film and helping the film community and making the new generation of filmmakers and everything. So, I mean, our judges are incredible, and they're so excited to be doing this.
A lot, okay, you guys, you've exhausted me just telling me about the film project. A lot of work has gone into getting this thing together.
Yeah, and we will be screening at the Palms on the 26th and 27th.
Ooh, yay.
So you get to see
Will it still be dusty?
your film on the big screen.
You see those billboards all over town, right?
No, it's we'll be walking on gold, right? That's what it is.
That's
From
right.
dust to
From
gold.
dust
Right?
to gold. So we all gold there.
Yeah, no, we'll be screening them the 26th and 27th at the Palms. So if you want to see these films on the big screen, you have the chance to support the film community, to support artists.
And to see what amazing people we have here in this town, because it's just a big underground. You guys all know each other, but it's not like you're like huge names that everybody knows who you are here. And I think the good thing and the bad thing about big time filming here is there's this perception that that's all that's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
And so then they pack up and leave, and people don't know that other things are being shot every single day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, us small guys are still here creating.
Yeah, and the award ceremony too is going to be
that
at this beautiful banquet hall. So I mean, literally, it's such a cool opportunity. Like you said, you get to watch your film on the big screen at the Brendan Palms, which is literally like the biggest theater here in Las Vegas.
Wow.
I mean, and the award ceremony.
Yeah, the award ceremony is gonna be like a ball type thing with red carpet.
Beautiful.
And
Wow.
Yeah, it's a full blown experience.
Yeah,
We wanted to make this the best year yet.
Yeah,
So
we wanted to give the film community here in Vegas an experience that they haven't experienced.
Yeah.
Well, as Corey said earlier, Hollywood East.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
there
right.
you go.
That's right.
Little by little, we're moving on up in every single genre. Okay, and also before I let you guys go, genres. What is the range of genres? Can you say that without the tainting the
it
them
ranges.
written
There you go.
down.
They range from one to another watch.
Okay,
So you don't know what you're getting. You're sitting there, and you don't want to do a Western, but you're going to have to do a Western.
Exactly. So these are the list of genres. You can go to our website and see them as well. The first group of genres is action adventure, comedy, dark comedy, fantasy, film de femme, horror, road movie, romance, sci-fi, silent film, superhero, thriller, suspense, time travel movie, and Western. And then the group 2 is coming of age, disaster film, family film, film noir, fish out of water, generation gap, martial arts, music film, musical, mystery, period piece, school drama, sports film, spy espionage, and vacation or holiday film. So you got a lot
There's
to
a few
work.
I'd be scared of getting, to be honest with you.
I would
But
not want
what's
to do a
cool,
Western.
too,
That's why I
is
said the Western.
When you get them, there's 2 options that you draw. So it's not like you're just completely stuck. People even make them together, so people do them creatively.
But see, that's the fun in it.
Exactly.
If you're used to, like me, I was always like horror. That's what I love doing.
Right.
You know, but if I was to do 48 and I get comedy, it's something I've never done.
So this is a stretch all along. I mean, this is
really
something that
cool.
you really have to, You have to
It's an
get out of your
experience,
comfort zone. You might
but
get
learning
lucky.
as well.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's a fun,
It's really
stressful
great.
experience.
Well, you've been saying stressful all throughout the show, and I'm thinking,
Because
of course,
it
it's
is.
going to be stressful.
Filmmakers,
But
it's,
now, when you
It's
talk
a
about the
blast,
genres,
yeah.
and this is the first time you're hearing about it, if you've never worked in that genre before, it's got to be, what the?
Yeah,
How am I
exactly.
going to even go there? You know, and then you
Yep.
get your prop or you get your person, and it's like, But
Yeah.
we don't have time to even worry about that.
There's
we gotta
no
get
time for that. You got
And it always
create.
seems to work out really amazing. Yeah.
I'm so impressed. I just want to watch the process and just to stress out. I just want to walk with a team and go, like, how do you get from there to where you're going, you know?
Yeah.
Because even in Hollywood today, you've got, you know, certain directors, they only do a certain genre. That's all they ever do, you know, and they're known for that. But in this one, it really is an opportunity to just challenge yourself.
Broaden your
and
horizons.
Broaden your horizons, exactly. Okay.
Definitely.
One to wrapping up here, the 48-hour Las Vegas Film Project. Last day to register.
Is June 8th.
June 8th.
Which is when the
you-
kickoff is.
You still have some time. Don't
Kickoff.
stress out ahead of time. Save your stress for, you know, when you get musical comedy and you're like, what?
Yeah. Stress. Then you stress.
Stress them.
And start, if you're thinking about entering, you've got time to get your team together, get the people that you want to work with that you think can deliver for you. Okay? Joe Lujan, Carcass Studios, and all of these great movies, The Telephobia, Corey Taylor, of course, Corey Taylor Talks, star of her own show and all of these other movies. And I'm just here to hang out with you guys. So join us again next week for Live Las Vegas with Rikki Cheese.